It's so stupid, it's positively brilliant.
The Brilliant Idiots Podcast.
I was trending on Sunday.
Are we gonna talk about that?
Yeah, and
this is so funny.
The reason I was out and I woke up Sunday morning and people hitting me like, "Yo, you okay?" Like I'm like, "What the fuck you mean? Am I okay?"
Those are
like,
the terrifying ones.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
and they're like, "You're trending." I'm like, "For what?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's never good.
And so it's like 26,000 tweets or something like that, and it's all old savage Charlamagne.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing: I'm not mad about none of that stuff. I actually welcome it, and the reason I welcome it is because I'm fine being an example of growth for people. I'm fine being an example of evolution for people. And the reason it's tricky, right? And that's why I say I don't know whether it's brilliant or idiotic, is because I can't sit here and say that I feel sorry about any of that stuff. And here's the reason why. A lot of people made a lot of money off of that. You know understand what I'm saying? And in a lot of ways, that was part of building, the brand of the Breakfast Club, building the brand of Charlamagne, building the brand of Brilliant Idiots, whatever it was.
Of course, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, that was a moment in time. You know what I mean? That was a moment in time. A lot of it was performative. But all of it was performative. I didn't realize that at the time. At the time, I thought, I'm just, they calling me the hip-hop Howard Stern, so
here we go.
Let me give him more of this creepy shit. You know what I mean? Let me give him that, right? But that shit was like, it wasn't me. You know what I mean? And that's why one of the reasons I moved away from it. You know what I mean? I moved away from it because I didn't get in no trouble. Clearly, I was getting money.
These are too funny.
Now, see, this is stupid. Me and Simba, so who killed your father?
Yo, this is just
No, this one is funny too. Charlamagne always got this look before saying something wild. Yeah. That stuff, I don't, the Mac, like all of that stuff is fine. Like I ask those kind of questions, you know what I mean? But I'm not purposely asking people crazy questions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But all of that other stuff, it was just performative. I got caught up in a shtick. I got caught up in like the whole hip-hop Howard Stern vibe. Like honestly, that's what it was. I was performing, And
I loved it. You were a great performer.
Shut up, man.
You were a great performer. I loved it. I thought it was so funny. I watch them now and I think they're funny.
You know what they better hope don't come out?
What's that?
Them old Guy Code clips.
Why was it crazy?
Right. Go back and watch Guy Code.
They took down one episode because of something I said?
First of all, think about
a whole episode.
Hold on. Think about who was on Guy Code.
You.
And Andrew Schulz and Little Duval.
Yeah, it got a little crazy.
What the fuck?
Son, apparently I said something on one episode where I was like, Guy Code is about relatable guy shit, right? For some reason, I thought it was appropriate to be like, yo, you ever see like a hot girl in like a sundress in the summer, walking down the street and you're like, all right, fuck it, I'll walk this way for a few blocks.
Listen, man.
Oh my God.
No. They put it. Listen. They kept it in the episode. Wait for it. And then they animated it.
Oh shit.
They animated me walking.
And then years later, when culture shifts.
Yeah, they're like,
when culture shifts, you want to change the shit. Somebody said that to me on Twitter. They was like, yo, you reaped all the benefits of acting like that, and now you afraid to suffer the consequences. What consequences?
Yeah, the consequences were the benefits.
Here's the thing. There should be no consequences. The reason there should be no consequences is because cultural context matters, right? Like I keep telling y'all, stop giving motherfuckers retroactive speeding tickets. We were going the speed limit that was allowed at the time.
Yeah, there was no speed limit.
Do you know there was none fucking speed limit.
I mean, it was crazy.
Bruh.
What? Bruh. Now? Say it now.
Listen, you know who's getting $120 million a year?
Who?
Howard fucking Stern.
Oh, yeah, it's serious.
Howard Stern's doing his new deal. He's getting $120 million a year. Howard Stern was the king of shock jockiness. Like when they used to put me in publications and say he's the hip-hop Howard Stern, he's a shock jock, that's what I was modeling myself after. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, oh, this is what people want? We're going to continue to give them more of this. Now, mind you, that's a small window, right? We start Breakfast Club in 2010. For me, that act wore out about 2012, 2013, maybe 14. I don't fucking remember. I don't want to get into dates, right? But the reason the act wore out is for all of the same reasons it kind of wore out for Howard. I remember watching Private Parts and seeing Howard's wife get on his ass. For me, my wife would be getting on my ass.
What would she say?
Stop that dumb shit. The fuck is you doing? Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, in my mind, in my sick, twisted mind at the time, oh, I'm on the right path.
Well,
my wife's mad at me the way Howard's wife was mad at him, you know? And then you got I got friends that really know me, like my homegirls, like Debbie Dev and Kendra G, and they're like, I really can't wait till people get to see the real you on the radio. Andrew hates. Andrew's like,
What?
no, man.
Yo, Debbie, put down the rocks, bro. Put down the rocks, man. Stop fucking up a good thing, okay?
No, that shit was not a good thing.
No, it was a beautiful thing. It was beautiful. It was hilarious. It was amazing.
It was the way I played ball at the time. My game has evolved. But this weekend was definitely
I thought
very
it was an
well calculated.
organized,
Oh,
calculated
no, because it
hit.
was. Because I did.
You figured out
I did
who it
the
is.
intel. No,
Okay.
I didn't figure out who it is, but I did the intel. It's literally like 80-something% bots. And so it was a thing. Somebody, but I'm used to that though. Listen, I've been used to that for a while. Like
But
that's nothing
my
new.
point about that is, Charlie, is that the content was so funny that even with people trying to smear you and cancel you, we were looking at it on Twitter and we were like, nah, this shit slaps still. Bro.
I'm like, who are you? First of all, I'm like, who are you new people?
Those are the old hits.
Those are the
hits.
Those are the old hits you can't perform no more.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't. You're not. No, I'm not listening
When
to
you got a single, you got to suck a fart out of butt soon.
No.
One suck a fart out of a butt.
Zay. No.
A suck a fart out of a
I am so
butt.
happy where I'm at in life.
Call it a bong rip.
I thank God.
Call that bong rip.
I thank God.
Hit that bong.
I thank God that I evolved. I thank God for my daughters because they helped me grow a lot. I thank God for therapy.
Mhm.
I don't want to go backwards. But once again, I can't shit on that era either because we made a lot of money in that era. But people don't understand cultural context. We really got to have the conversation about cultural context one day, man. Things were different. If you wasn't there, I can't describe it to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Back in the day, you was going to hear gay slurs in music. You was going. I will say this too, though, and this is what hurts me the most about it. And this is why I'm so intentional about how I move with women. You know what I'm saying? Especially black women. There was a time where it seemed like violence against women was a genre.
Of music, you're saying?
Just in general. Whether it's music, movies, comedy, whatever it was. Like the things that, men used to make light of. It was literally violence against women. We may not have seen it like that, but it was. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
And so it's just like...
Why do you think that is? Do you think it's possible that that's the most extreme moral corruption that we can think of?
Yeah.
I think deep down we know how horrible it is, so oftentimes it like proliferates the art we create as like the worst thing to do.
I think being that there was no line back then, right?
Yeah, we were searching for a line.
Everybody
Like,
was literally trying to be as shocking as possible.
Yeah.
To kind of stand out.
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
jokes had to be like on this level, or the commentary had to be on this level, or the music had to be on this level. Like you had to almost say some like wild, shocking shit. That's why Eminem popped off the way that he did.
There's a song by Eminem where he's like listing his credits, like a basketball player coming to the game from blah 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 blah, like as if it's a credit, and then he just starts rapping. It was crazy.
That shit is fucked up, man. And that right there is what makes me be so intentional about, the support I show for women. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, even back then, there would be times where I would hear like women say, I hate Charlamagne. I'm like, why do you hate me?
Yeah.
Until you go back and you like, oh.
Well, what would you say that would make them hate you?
Man, shut up, Andrew.
I don't think you were
Because you're a man. And the worst kind of man. Okay? A male comedian. A white male comedian who still doesn't see anything wrong. You love pushing the fucking... This guy is so crazy, man. I don't like it. I don't like it, and that's why...
But I don't think you ever said anything anti-woman, bro.
Nah, you do unintentionally. It's just like, listen, you can't go backwards, and I'm not trying to go backwards, but I will say I am extremely ecstatic to hear people always constantly tell me over the past few years, 5 years actually, how much I've evolved and how much I've grown. And sometimes those clips serve as a reminder, like, that's Charlamagne? Lennar? That's, god damn. He was out of control.
It's debatable.
It's debatable.
It's,
This guy is so stupid,
I'm just
man.
saying.
What's wrong
I
with
loved
him?
it. I'm never going to stop loving it. I think it's absolutely
What is
great.
Ad.
Oh.
You want to do an ad? All right, fine.
But the moral of the story is,
Yeah. What's the moral? Let's get to the moral of the story.
I don't know if there is a moral. It's just weird. It's just like,
What?
You're attacking me for things that everybody has already seen.
Yeah.
I hold myself accountable.
Yep.
For being in a fucked up state of mind, not taking shit serious as I should have.
Right.
But also, the consumers who ate it up.
I loved it. I don't apologize.
You know what I mean?
I don't.
It's just that culture was different.
Yeah.
The context of things were different. I actually am ecstatic about where we're at right now.
Yeah.
As a culture. But I still think that we have to have a real conversation about cultural context and about how people have evolved and grown, because I don't think we're giving people the grace to make mistakes anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like, how often does...
Well, what about not mistakes? What about just jokes? Like, I think jokes are allowed.
Yeah.
Even if they're fucked up. Because the intention behind the joke is just
to make somebody laugh.
Yeah.
But you're doing it at somebody's expense.
Well, a joke is always at someone's expense.
Listen, everything ain't to be joked on. And that's just the truth to the matter. And we got to know that.
Like, I think you can joke. I mean, like, look, you know me. I'm going to have a different
You're a comedian.
view on this. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm speaking
comedian.
from the perspective of...
I think that's what hurt you, is that you would say, in my opinion, you were always a comedian. And I looked at you as a comedian, and my comedian friends looked at you as a comedian because, because we saw you had material. I think the average person wouldn't see it, but like you had like ideas and jokes and like wordplay that was comedic. It wasn't like, oh, this is just something funny. Sometimes you and I will just have a moment that's random and funny. But sometimes there's something planned that's said that's funny as well. So we look at that as a joke. So I always gave you comedic expectations. But the average person would hear you go, I'm not a comedian, I tell the truth. Or you would have a line about it. The point is like, if you have that comedic expectation, I think people can take shit with a grain of salt. But if you're out there, you yourself, branding yourself, going, yo, this is who I am. I don't make any jokes. All I do is speak the truth. And then you suddenly say something wild. They're like, oh, I guess he really feels that way.
And all I was doing was performing, bullshitting myself.
Yeah.
That's the most fucked up thing about it, because I used to always tell y'all, you don't want to become a caricature of yourself. And I absolutely became a caricature myself.
It was great.
And was still lying about
it. Was great. It was so good. It was fucking great. Nobody listening to this right now, if you came on this podcast right now, you're like, yo, fuck all this tree hugging, mental health shit. Nope. I'm going back to sniffing seeds. Nope. Nobody listening to this podcast right now will be like, I'm not listening anymore. They'll be like, yo, next week's about to be crazy.
If that shit happens, commit me.
So what, commit you?
If I come in here and ever say that, commit me.
I'm going to finish the app.
Something is...
We gonna get a whole F off, and then I'm gonna take you to the thing.